Kris straight up pimped me and Kendall. She only cares about money and used all of us sisters for it. She'd take us to parties when we were super young, and rich people would pay her a good amount.
Anybody recognize this cabin right here that Kris Jenner's at? Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
I now hold the opinion that Kim Kardashian is a prostitute, and I'm not going to edit this opinion. Kim Kardashian is a prostitute. Her mother is a pimp.
This federal RICO though, on KK and Kris. Ooh, the federal RICO I'm about to drop. Anybody know Kim and cool with Kim? They need to tell her now. The rain is coming, the feds is coming.
You'll buckle up because the latest tea involving Kris Jenner just cracked the internet in half. And if even half of this is true, Hollywood might never recover. Word on the street is that a former JayZ employee spilled everything, and apparently Kanye stumbled upon some disturbing receipts about Kris. We're talking allegations that she wasn't just a mamaga, but a potential recruiter for some of the darkest elites in the industry. Yes, those elites, the Epstein circle. And suddenly, all the pieces start to click. Sources claim Kanye became terrified for North and Chicago after discovering Kris allegedly planned to groom them into the same machine she built using Kim, Kylie, and the rest. Because for Kris, fame isn't a gift, it's a currency, and she's always willing to spend her own children.
Did you help Kim release her sex tape?
It's okay. No. No.
True. Of course it's true!
Thank you!
Of course it's true!
Just think about it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you to think about some of the stuff I tell you. I don't want you to hate me because I make one suggestion. It's a little intense.
But wait, the rabbit hole is way deeper than any of us thought. Remember that insanely extravagant 70th birthday bash Kris threw last month? Everyone said it felt weird, out of touch, almost cult-like. Well, insiders are now whispering that it wasn't a celebration. It was a gathering, a secret meetup for Hollywood's most powerful names who might share one very dark connection: Epstein. Because tell me why Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg were there? Since when do the rulers of Silicon Valley hit VIP tables with the Kardashians? That's not a friend group. That's a strategic meeting. And the timing too perfect. Kris hosts a grand elite summit. Then, suddenly Epstein emails drop like a nuke. Just days later. That's not
good American on the outside. I've got Skims on the inside.
Wait, say that again?
I'm drinking 818 like crazy.
Okay, so let's start with what this former JayZ employee allegedly leaked. Because it's wild. According to a complaint obtained by People, this ex-staffer claims that Kanye instructed him to dig into the Kardashians, like full-on investigation mode, because he believed the family might have dangerous connections behind the scenes. We're talking criminal circles, power players, and whispered accusations that sound straight out of a Hollywood conspiracy thriller. And here's where things explode. Kanye himself recently doubled down online, writing, "Kim Kardashian is a trafficker and y'all don't believe me, and just say I'm crazy." That post shook the internet, not because Kanye said something shocking that's practically his trademark, but because he said it with so much conviction, like he knows something the rest of us don't. And the scary part, this isn't the first time he's sounded the alarm. Kanye has been publicly paranoid for years that the Kardashians could drag North and Chicago into something dark, that fame and influence come with a price, and he's terrified his daughters might end up paying it. Whether Kanye is trying to protect his family or spiraling into something bigger, that's the question nobody can ignore anymore.
Grandmother that signed for the daughter to do the tape has the rights to the names and the likeness of my black children. That's who we're dealing with. And I bet not one celebrity say yeah. They ain't gonna say shit. They're gonna be like, "Oh man, I'm sorry about your cousin."
The Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI has disclosed disturbing details, accusing Kardashian of a scheme involving drugging high-profile men.
Remember back in 2020, right before Kim filed for divorce, Kanye went full nuclear on Kris Jenner. He publicly called her out for allegedly pushing Kim to do a Playboy shoot and wrote, "I put my life on the line that North's mother would never sell her tape." Boom. That wasn't just a tweet. That was a warning. A red flag waving so hard it could be seen from space. And Kanye didn't stop there. He also went after Kris's longtime boyfriend, Corey Gamble, declaring that neither Kris nor Corey were allowed anywhere near his kids. When you read between the lines, it's chilling. Kanye clearly stumbled onto something that terrified him. Something about Kris that made him fear for North and Chicago's safety.
So for the culture, y'all don't want me, because I feel like the culture didn't stand up for me when I asked y'all to. We're all.
What did you ask for the culture to stand up for? No.
These women kidnapped my child in broad daylight.
So Kanye flew home last night. And he came back this morning. I want to show you guys what he got me. Gorgeous.
Oh my God.
He got me all of the sex tape back.
And now with these fresh reports claiming Kris might have been the Ghislaine Maxwell of Hollywood, suddenly everything starts to make sense. Let's talk about that bizarre birthday party Kris threw recently. Sure, she's had extravagant bashes before, but this one was different. Way different. The guest list alone had the internet doing double takes. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, rubbing elbows with Paris Hilton, Beyoncé, Oprah, and Tyler Perry. It wasn't just a
Take a look inside Kris Jenner's 70th billionaire birthday bash, where the police were allegedly called. Jeff Bezos hosted at his $165 million mansion in Beverly Hills. The theme was a play on James Bond's 007. Inside the party, you could find all the billionaires, including Mark Zuckerberg, Oprah Winfrey, Bill Gates, Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle, her daughter and alleged billionaire Kylie Jenner, Kim, Kendall, Khloe, and of course all of Kylie's friends. For the Housewife fans, funny how Lou M. Taylor's here, Vin Diesel, Hailey Bieber, Justin Bieber, who walked out with mysterious white stuff on his pants, and many more. The guests received 2 gifts, Wayfair Ray-Bans, and special Kris Jenner Dunkin' Donuts. Bruno Mars played, and this is when the police showed up. TMZ and the Daily Mail are alleging the cops came several times during Kris Jenner's birthday bash because of the Bruno Mars performance. I don't mean to be mean or negative, but this party gave extremely bad vibes. And if you watch this video back, or just go look online, most everyone walking in, including her daughter, were trying to cover their faces. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts below.
The entire situation just felt off. Because let's be real, when have we ever seen Bill Gates casually sipping champagne with the Kardashians or Mark Zuckerberg posing under a disco ball with Hollywood's glam squad? Exactly. So why did they suddenly show up for Kris? And why this year of all years? The timing sent the internet into a frenzy. Kris's celebration happened right after the Epstein-related emails dropped. Emails mentioning several of the same high-profile individuals who were photographed smiling at Kris's event. Coincidence? The internet doesn't think so. Online, sleuths are theorizing that this wasn't a birthday party at all, but a closed-door gathering for the most powerful names tied to Epstein's orbit.
14 years old. I was 16 years old. This was me. This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
Is there anything that you wish the cameras hadn't seen?
Probably my stripper pole episode.
I'll shoot it.
Girls Gone Wild is like this.
A check-in moment for those terrified that the wrong person might start talking, whether it's all speculation or there's a deeper truth hiding behind those velvet ropes. Nobody can shake the feeling that this party was more about protection than celebration.
You continue to meet with him over several years, and that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
Well, I said I regretted having those dinners, and there's absolutely nothing new on that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead, so in general, you always have to be careful. I'm very proud of what we've done in philanthropy. Very proud of the work.
Reddit is dragging Kris Jenner's latest party straight into the pizza. Conspiracy.
Wait, say that again.
One person asked her most obvious question of the
Kylie
season.
Jenner, and I'm Kendall Jenner, and welcome to our Team Vogue photo shoot.
Celebrating Kris freaking Jenner, and the reply came in hotter than TMZ on a Friday night because she's a pimp, and a lot of these people have either benefited from her, paid for her services, or gained pleasures through her circle. It's not rocket science. And then the comment section turned into a crime board. Another user said, "People underestimate how influential she is. This is Epstein-level pimpage." Then someone else chimed in with the ultimate MIC drop. Ghislaine Maxwell got caught. You think Kris might too? Fingers crossed. But this is where the real parallel emerges. Epstein and Ghislaine weren't just monsters. They were financial masterminds behind a web of money that flowed through the world's most powerful banks. JP Morgan reportedly ran 134 accounts for Epstein, pushing over $1 billion while ignoring red flags so bright they practically screamed. Deutsche Bank, same shady dance. Now, why does that suddenly sound familiar? Because Kris Jenner's rise in Hollywood has always been wrapped in whispers of shady deals, suspicious cash, and money laundering setups that you will never see on the Kardashians. Maybe not on Epstein scale, but the pattern, it's there. Let's talk about Kris's holy side hustle, the California Community Church. Kris calls herself a lover of Christ online, but her version of worship comes with a price tag. Members aren't just donating, they are paying $1,000 a month, plus handing over 10% of their income. And because the church is legally a charity, Kris walks away with a 10% tax break every single year. Hallelujah for loopholes. Even better, when one of the Kardashian kids needs a last-minute tax write-off, they just donate to mommy's church. The money stays exactly where it started, inside the empire. Receipts. Oh, we have receipts. Tax records show Kim listed Kris's church as the beneficiary of her eBay charity auctions, raking in almost $45,000 from fans who thought they were supporting a real cause. Plot twist. The cause is Kris. And then there's the Kardashian obsession with building, flipping, rebuilding, flipping again. When Kylie announced yet another mega mansion right next to Kris, the internet immediately screamed, money-moving scheme, because who buys homes like their handbags? Unless the walls are doing more than just looking pretty. But wait, Corey Gamble enters the chat. His whole aura deserves an HBO investigative series, because according to Kanye West, who, let's be honest, has dropped some accurate bombs before, Corey isn't just the boyfriend. He's the handler, the middleman, the bridge between Kris's alleged underground empire and law enforcement itself. Rumor has it Corey has deep ties to intelligence agencies and extremely powerful operators. Kanye flat out said Corey was CIA sent into the Kardashian home, and then a leaked clip showed Kanye on the phone doubling down. Corey is CIA. So if Kris really is Hollywood's most powerful puppeteer, then Corey might be the guy holding the scissors, ready to cut any string that slips out of line. The internet moved faster than ever. The second in Epstein survivor dropped a hint about a manager steering her daughters into dangerous circles. Every timeline lit up and all. Fingers snapped to point at Kris Jenner. Like it was the obvious missing piece. The details dovetailed so eerily with what people remember about Kylie and Kendall's teen years that it felt less like coincidence and more like choreography in the worst possible way. Then the story curdled. Kim got pulled into the swirl. Allegations started to claim she wasn't just a family favorite. Some sources now say she quietly kept the machine running, nudging her little sisters toward older men with links to that same shadowy world. Put another way, those whispers that used to sound like salacious gossip suddenly read like warnings people ignored. Once the viral flames took hold, everyone raced back to the one line people had been shouting for years.